All right, everyone. So, on a recent podcast, Bobby Lashley was asked who he kind of prefers being the main booker, what either Triple H or Vince McMahon. Here's what he had to say.
I had a connection with Vince. Vince understood me. Vince was big on like this show. He looked at people that were stars, and he saw that in me. And there was a lot of little nuggets that Vince would give me all the way throughout my career and tell me different things. So Vince just looked at me. He was like, I can tell Bobby works his ass off. I can send him anywhere around the country to represent the
brand,
company,
yeah.
the brand. And he just looked at me as a star, so I like Vince.
So we going with Vince.
I haven't really had too much connection with Hunter. Hunter has his guys, and I've tried to, but we haven't really worked enough together to even get to know each other.
For sure, I
So, the reason we're doing this video is because this is something I think WWE and Triple H in general is going to have to be careful of moving forward. Anytime in life you have something that is as hot as WWE, anytime you have something with the momentum that WWE currently has, it's important to understand that momentum is, in some ways like a balloon. It can keep getting blown up, blown up, blown up, blown up, but once that thing pops, you're going to have to, I guess with a balloon, you'd have to get a whole new one, but you would have to blow it up again. And right now, there is so much good press. There is so much love in the locker room for Triple H. There is so much love for the direction the product is going. You're not really hearing any downsides. And anytime that happens, you have to be a little bit, I don't want to say concerned, but you have to be like a little skeptical of, well, what's going to happen to this thing once wrestlers become a little bit critical, right? How are you going to deal with the bad moments of wrestling when it's going to just happen, right? That's life. You have good moments and you have bad moments. That's how life goes. So, I'm sure people have their thoughts on, what Bobby Lashley said. I'm sure, there's wrestlers with different opinions. Many of them have said they like Triple H more than, Vince being the head guy. But this is something to just keep your eyes on, right? How is Triple H going to handle when the product or wrestlers in the organization are a little bit upset with the direction of how things are going, right? And we're starting to see a little crack in that, right? We've seen a few wrestlers say stuff now, but that's to be expected. There's never going to be 100% universal agreement on anything. There's never going to be a company that has all of their employees loving everything they're doing all the time. So it's not really a shot at Triple H. I just think this is something to keep in mind, especially if you're a wrestling viewer, right? Because you don't want to, a lot of times when a company like wrestling or like WWE or in wrestling, would have a rough patch, people are like, well, I'm out, I'm gone, this is it, or this is the end of it. And it's usually not that. It's cyclical, right? It goes through good times, goes through bad times, and you just have to stick it through and see it through to the end. So for Triple H, I'm loving everything he's doing so far. But just make sure, because Lashley does say one thing in there where he says, Triple H has his guys, and it doesn't mean necessarily that he's right. It doesn't mean that Triple H just has his select people that he likes to push. I know Vince always was being accused of that, right? Oh, these are the guys he likes. He pushes those, and he buries other people. Even whether it's true or not doesn't matter. If that becomes something that the locker room feels is the case, that's how problems start, right? And I think Triple H gets that. So just wanted to put this out there. I thought Bobby Lashley's comments were pretty interesting. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.